Hey, it's Dr. Kate. I work and help with women entrepreneurs, professional women, business owners redefine success in a way that allows them to be prosperous and fulfilled and nourished. So, today we're going to talk about self-care. It's a pretty hot term that's been out there for about 10 years, but it's something I've been teaching my clients for probably about the last 20 years. And self-care is essential if we are going to be successful in a business venture, because self-care is what keeps us together, keeps us in a way that we can show up with a clear mind, we can show up with energy, we can show up with creativity, right? If we don't have some form of self-care happening, we're going to be exhausted, we're going to be burned out, we're going to not be able to think really clearly. Things that we have to get done are going to take twice as long to get done. So our productivity level is going to go down, right? Our ability to be efficient is going to be kind of jacked up. And as a business owner, time, equals money, equals, efficiency in offering up our products. And so we really want to be looking at how we can be our best self is going to allow us to show up in our business the best. And that's going to help our business be successful. So self-care becomes something that we learn to incorporate more and more into our lives as much as we brush our teeth, right? And initially, most of us are very, willing to do a little bit, but we don't want to do too much, like it's some kind of new routine that feels too much. So you have to start with a little bit at a time, right? You have to start where you are and add in a little bit. But eventually when you see the impact, it becomes something that you don't want to miss, right? It's like getting a really good night's sleep. You don't want to miss that when you're going to work and you have a big project the next day. Sleep is an essential thing for us to be able to think clearly, to have energy, to feel like we're in a good mood, right? And to be able to come at things with more positive perspective. We can't do that if we're not getting our sleep. So even the basics that we think about, eating, sleeping, and getting exercise, are things that I think most of us can struggle to do on a regular basis. So however we can start where we are and start adding in more consistency and being really aware of how it helps you feel better is the main ingredient. Because if we just do stuff to do it and check it off a list, we're not going to be motivated the next day. When I make it to the gym and I pay attention to how I feel more present in my body, I feel more energized, I feel more able to go back to my work and really focus and get down to business. That's a huge positive for me. I want that. I want that feeling. So self-care means we have to listen to our bodies and be more aware of how those self-care ways of being are really helping us. And then we want to do more, right? But even then, building it into a habit can take time. So we almost have to schedule it in, right? Like, here's my work starting at 8. I'm going to make sure I get up and I do these things starting at 7, or I make sure I go for a walk at lunch. Scheduling it in can really help us make it more of our routine, part of our day, that it's not separate from work. It's actually part of it. And I think that can help us feel more at ease with it and not in resistance. But you got to start somewhere and start with mostly what you like. Like if you like walking, then do that. Don't go to the gym where you hate it, right? If you like dancing, maybe do more dancing. So be willing to be creative, but be willing mostly to pay attention to how it supports you to be your best self when you show up for your work day as a professional woman in your own business or in your own career. Notice how much those little steps of change can really support you to feel more capable, more confident in who you are and what you bring to the table. So that's my little spiel today on self-care, and I I support you to do that. If you want to learn more about it, I talk quite a bit about self-care in different ways in my book, Fear Less: The Art of Using Anxiety to Your Advantage. And that's a book that I am willing to send to you for free through the email. If you want to go ahead and private message me, or you could email me at katedowphd@gmail.com, and I'll shoot you a free copy, because I'm getting excellent feedback from people who, whether you have anxiety or not, we all have levels of anxious fears, and this book is really giving people a lot of teachings and practices that are usable, like practical ways to work with being more loving and self-caring. So check in with me. Hope you have a great rest of your evening and a good weekend. Bye.